And when you know about this, yes, like you also experience about this toxic pilot and everything. Yeah, you did the whistleblowing. Yeah. So my question is that how has your whistleblowing journey affected your personal and professional life? Have you faced any backlash or resistance as a result of your efforts to uncover these hidden truths? Yeah.
Well, yes, of course, your whole world changes because before then, all these corporations are cult structures, and you're a part of this cult. Well, you're not aware of it. I was not aware of it until I became in this position, and then you lose. Most of your former colleague, friends, and also in family and friends, you lose a lot of people who don't want to be confronted with this inconvenience because it's interfering with all the individual comfort zone bubbles, and people want to go on with their life. So in the beginning, there you have some support, but in the end, your whole social construct also changes because you meet a lot of new people at that point, which is very precious. So it's a massive change. Whatever inconvenient truth it is, for me, it was especially actually the war in Yugoslavia, which was for me my main wake-up period. Sort of, this is complete different reality, and which was very confrontational for me. Personal, actually more even almost than in aviation, because the people around me didn't want to know anything about it, and Holland was this very special function in these all these imperialist globalist war efforts. Holland serves as a different purpose, so that was for me even more confrontational than when I was in the aviation industry, although it's a whole process because I was doing the thing I loved most, and then I got this in this position of this with this health issue, which was sort of why is this? But at the same time, looking now at aviation today, with after COVID and after 9/11 especially as well, I thought these pilots are going to speak out because pilots, they don't think, they have to know. So if they know something is not right, they're going to speak out. But apparently that's also in this section of society, it doesn't work like that. So, but now with all the regulations and all the society changes, and also in aviation, I'm very happy that I couldn't function anymore in that environment. Also, so but it's a massive change, of course. If you tell inconvenience truths, you're the guy who's going to be kicked out of the party.
So, in your opinion, now the flights are safe now, or you think there's still a toxic in the current flight today?
Flying is still a very toxic adventure. If you do a flight, you're being exposed, and now I'm speaking even more about radiation levels because 5G is running on the most main airports are running already on 5G, and now you have Wi-Fi in the plane itself, which creates another accumulation of EMF exposure to extreme levels. So this is very unhealthy by itself. Whether you fly in a Dreamliner without these toxic air components, and even worse, if you fly in a non-Dreamliner, then you have on top of this you have this air exposure. So it's still a very toxic event to do a flight. So if you do a flight and it's on a more a new aircraft, because the older the aircraft, the older the engines, the more worn out the ceilings are, and of the so you have more leakages, you have more exposure to more toxins when it's more old and worn out. These engines, you have more toxics coming into the cabin, and you have the geoengineering factor. Also, you're flying through a toxic plasma. Actually, the atmosphere has been transformed into a plasma. It's not anymore just air. It's literally a plasma where things can be created in and can be used and mobilized. And it's a mini ionosphere, literally, the atmosphere. So that's also an extra component you're being exposed to. So yeah, no, you have to make sure you are in good health before you do a flight, I think. But if you do one flight, it's okay. It's not that you after one or two flights immediately. It depends on your individual health, but it is toxic. But it's the same as going to the big city, which is toxic. I try to avoid big cities because of the EMF exposure in the big cities is now to such a degree that it's, for me, almost literally no-go areas. I just want to go out of there because it's just too much.
How to anticipate if, for example, I'm going by plane now, how to anticipate in order that we can avoid these toxic things at the plane?
Well, if you can look up for airlines which operate with a Dreamliner, that is there's a massive decrease in you minimize a lot of you take out a lot of toxic components, like all these toxic air components. That's not in a Dreamliner. It's really like clean air, and I've experienced it myself. I don't have these neurotoxic symptoms in the plane, but now the radiation levels are quite high. But it's a different thing. So you can look up for a Dreamliner, or you can look up for an airline which operates with new aircrafts. That's also good. Yeah. But if you do one flight, you shouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah.